Yo, what up, people? So, I made a video a few days ago as a concern what Gervonta Davis's moves could, well, at least what we want to see moves made by him and Mayweather Promotions and everybody involved as far as putting him in high level fights in 2022. But as we're hearing, uh, there's a high probability that, as was initially planned prior, Rolly Romero, he had the sexual misconduct, like, allegations that were thrown out. So the original plan seems as if right now is going to go ahead forward, as we're hearing the WBA, and this really shows you the time we're in, the times we're in, where the WBA is ordering for the regular version of a title, which, listen, I don't care what anybody says, man. It's an interim title. George Kambosos is the WBA champion. So they're ordering a fight between the interim champion, Rolly Romero, and the regular champion in Gervonta Davis. So we're going to get the fight again that we were initially going to get in December, and Rolly Romero was talking it up, and I think he was pretty much going to be the villain, so to speak, in this fight. But this is kind of the issue I have. Well, I guess there's two ways you could look at this, okay? Now, number one, Gervonta Davis did suffer suffer a hand injury during the Isaac Cruz fight. And you have to be very mindful of that. And I think you don't want to throw Gervonta into like a very difficult fight. From that perspective, I understand, and maybe why I wouldn't be as very like so hard pressed for this fight not to happen outside of the hand injury. But on the realistic side of it too, though, this is technically a step back or a step down from Isaac Cruz, who listen, let's just say what it is, man. He's a better fighter than Rolly Romero. You can't debate me on that. Rolly Romero has, you could argue, hasn't looked great in his last two fights, and the fight prior, like, he might have lost. So, you're going into this fight thinking, like, what is Rolly really bringing to the table? His mouthpiece, or an actual threat? Because I'll tell you, there's things Isaac Cruz did in that fight that I don't think Rolly could do. And, they're talking about Rolly has power or whatever, but I'm going to say this one more time, okay? Gervonta Davis has a chin, man, okay? I think you're going to need to bring more to the table than just having a big punch, okay? Because Isaac Cruz landed some shit on him, and Tank took it. You know what I'm saying? And Tank is just overall a better fighter, man. Like, and Rolly, I think he's somebody that walked in. They found him. I think it was Ellerby, if the story goes right. He found him in some high school or whatever and brought him to the Mayweather gym, and he was beating the amateurs that they had there. So, all right, let's just thrust him in, so to speak, right? But look, whether you like Gervonta Davis or not, there is a bar he's kind of above in relation to, like, guys the level of Rolly, okay? It's why we want to see Tank against the real crop of guys. So, but again, back to the hand injury. Like, that's why I'm not so hard pressed where if they made this and Tank had beaten Isaac Cruz, like, handily, and he didn't have that injury, and then they took this fight, then I'm like, okay. But I'm gonna revert back to the video I made before. This is the year I feel they need to roll the dice and put Tank in there in a fight that the fans want to see. There is some risk involved, but the upside is very big for Tank Davis, and those fights are there. It's really whether or not Floyd and Leonard Ellerby and Al Heyman want to pull the trigger on it. You know what I'm saying? Because, again, it's these three guys. I mean, and it really could be two, whoever Kambosos picks to fight. But the three guys, to me, that put Tank over the top is if he somehow lands a like if he lands an undisputed title fight with whoever comes out of George Kambosos versus TBA, whether Devin Haney or Lomachenko, or he fights one or the other, right? Or he like fights a Lomachenko, or you know what I'm saying? Those wins put him over the top. But it's whether or not they want to put him in those fights and not just use we're the pay-per-view star, you got to come to us. Like, it don't work that. It don't work that way right now for Tank. And it'd be different if Tank was pulling in big pay-per-view numbers, but he's not. If he beats those guys and he brings the hardware and he can say, I'm the guy, I'm the champion, then all that's gonna come to fruition. But he has to walk, and I don't want to say walk the plank, but like I guess so. And I'm gonna say this one more time. It's not. I don't think it's Tank. I don't think it is. I think he'd fight those guys tomorrow. It's funny enough, man. It's Floyd and Ellerby who are playing the promoter hat. You know what I mean? I mean, say what it is. And listen, Floyd learned from the best. So we'll see. It looks like we're gonna get that fight. Gervonta Davis, Rolly Romero. They're gonna, run it back. Try it one more time. And listen, Rolly will sell it. He'll talk it up. But it's kind of a foregone conclusion. I mean, not to be disrespectful, but there's a reason why Tank will probably be like a 8-1 favorite in this fight, if not more. So looks like we're getting that the first part of 2022. It's really the next move they make, though, because I think the demand is already there, even from some of the hardcore Gervonta Davis fans. Like, I think they want to see him in with those guys, but it's because one of the three is going to have all the straps, and Tank got to go through that to get him. So let me know what you think of the fight, and who would you want to see Tank in there with next if you think he's going to steamroll through Rolly Romero, which I'm kind of thinking he is, man. But let's see. So let me know what you think. I'll be back soon. Peace.